show of Jack Jumpers basketball?
Yeah, first to commiserate to Brisbane. I know what they're kind of going through with all the stuff that they've had all season, so it's difficult at times to persevere through some of that stuff. But hats off to DMAC and them over there trying to do the best what they have available. For us, this is a culture win. It's why we do what we do, and it's a statement for the whole club and the state of why we show up. And it's definitely a culture win for me of just doing the right thing and showing up and showing pride in this game is bigger than basketball. And our guys felt that, and the energy was incredible by them, and they played fantastically for 40 minutes.
I mean, the energy, let's go to that. The fans, obviously, Tassie gets behind the Teal game. I feel like this one was another level tonight.
Yeah, obviously, just because of, I think, the Harris family and, Joe's legacy is so hugely important to everyone. And then I just think that I think the fans feel that, we've been going through some tough times, and we've, stuck our head up and we put a couple games together with a lot of adversity that we've hit also. And our guys just show up, and I think the fans are inspired by the fact that the grit and grind of what we do and trying to stay humble and hungry across the board to defend this island and to make sure that we're doing right by Tasmanians.
The bloke sitting next to you, Scott, have you seen a better opening quarter by anyone?
Yeah, he was incredible. He told on himself, so we're going to expect that every night from him. No, but he's been. I've said this many times when I've had a chance to bring him in for the pressers. His work rate's incredible, and he's really obviously grown in our system. Our coaches have done a wonderful job with him, and he came in kind of this bit of an unknown, and we thought we had struck gold when we got him actually, and what he could morph into, and he's exceeded our expectations of where he is right now and what he's been doing, and it's really pleasant to see what these guys that invest in our coaching staff, and then they reap the rewards on a game like tonight, and he's a perfect example of a guy that just is grinding away and getting better every single week.
How do you feel after that, Nick?
Yeah, I feel pretty good, obviously. I didn't miss too many shots, so that was nice. But yeah, it's nice to get the win.
Scott, would you say that he would be in conversations with most improved player of the year?
Absolutely. There's no question about it. Again, he was a player that I think got casted aside a bit by some teams, and he fell right into our lap, and we were excited when he was available, and we felt that he was going to be really good, and if we could fix some of his defensive issues that he's had in the past, which now it's obviously the opposite, we actually put him on the best players to try to defend, and again, his whole game has just morphed into something that is really pleasant for us, and we're excited about it.
It was a record night for Tassie. Obviously, your previous highest score was 109. Finished 114 tonight. Your best score differential was 35 points over Adelaide back in 21-22. Tonight was 44, and then Nick hits 31, at best previously 14. How does that feel going tonight? It's a Till game. The crowd was electric. How does that sort of feel?
Yeah, I mean, I've said it, I just can't be more prouder of this group and the organization and the effort that gets put on to put this kind of game together with the shirts and the stands and all the giveaways and just the great energy that is brought into this building. And again, for us, it's a culture win for our entire staff and for the front office and everyone. And that's why you have a very strong culture and belief. When things aren't going so well, you fall back on those things and you keep your standards. And this is a great reward for these guys.
It really shows, lots of big names out at the moment, but it really shows, early on in the franchise we were the underdogs, and it really shows that you can't discount Jack Jumpers.
Well, I hope not. You're going to have to expend a lot of energy to beat us, and that's just the way it's been. And nothing's been given to us, and we'll scrap and fight as best we can and do the best we can.
Scott, just off that culture win, we are talking at the moment that you don't want to beat the Jack Jumpers in a playoffs game. You look like you've all but cemented that sixth spot. How far do you think culture goes over, say, a really talented team?
Well, I don't think it's so much about going over a talented team. I think ultimately culture is something that when you have the bad days or bad seasons that you actually have something to fall back on, and that you keep your standards and that you don't sway in and out of coaches changes and front office changes and bringing players in and out. Culture is about repeatable things that you show up and do in the good times and the bad times. And when it's not going so well, it's very easy to let go of the rope and say, whatever, and people just start randomly doing whatever. So I'm hugely stressing about the accountability of our group, and that's why I think it's a culture win. Those last few games here have been, staples of just us sticking our nose in there and fighting as hard as we can. And against good teams, they're going to have obviously great talent and good culture too. But when you're playing in these situations and things aren't going well, what do you do? And for us, it's about defending this island and what that means to our group.
We know that you're big on picking up players who are humble, who come in and can fit into a culture, who aren't too big for their boots. Talk about the guy next to you. He seems like he fits that mold, but also the imports that you've brought in this year. It seems like there is not one person who believes that they are above this, but also it just is the people that you get into this group. Yeah,
we spend a great amount of time finding character. I take character over talent every single time, and if you happen to get the two right, then you're cooking. But we're taking character first, and I think character wins in the long run, and especially in moments when it's not so good for you. And you have high character guys that will show up and do the right thing. And the 3 imports, and all of our imports we've had, but these 3 this year have been just on point across the board. They're just great human beings. They walk quietly. They're soft-spoken. They're very much about improvement because they're young. And then you add Nick and Bannon and some of these other guys that just have a huge work ethic, and you're creating something that's exciting to come to work every single day to do.
Nick, just quickly with you, mate. Obviously, you come here, you start off the bench, now you become a starter. How have you sort of found your season go from where it is to now where it is like all the time?
Yeah, it's been pretty cool to get the opportunity. So it's just, putting the work in every day and kind of showing up and taking my opportunity when I get it. Tonight was just my night. Last game was DJ's night. Just made the right plays, made open shots. So pretty happy with how I played tonight.
You have sort of built into the season, you have had shown glimpses of this deal. Did you know that you were capable of doing this? Do you always believe that you have been? Yeah,
for sure. It's just... it was just happened to be my night tonight. I got open looks and I made them. So thank you to my teammates for passing me the ball. So
I will say, I don't want to interrupt this talk, but a lot of players say they want minutes, they want to play, or they want X amount of whatever. But then when you walk through the door, you're actually ready to do it. That's the defining moment. And he's walked through the door, and now it won't shut.
And takes in the locker room. Can this group do something special? You sit in 6th. You've beaten 5 teams ahead of you. And you've put out a game like tonight, just leading into the playoffs. Can this team do something special from here?
Definitely. I believe we can beat anybody when we play our best basketball. So, yes, we can go beat and make a run in the playoffs.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, Nick, just a couple from me. We've talked all season, the couple of times we've talked about how it's at the defensive end that you've learned and grown this year, and Scott's been willing to give you the biggest defensive assignments, and you've done all of the homework to put in the work to get ready for that. How much has that then helped your offensive game, just what you've learned from playing on some of these great offensive players throughout the season?
Yeah, obviously I got to watch a lot of film of these guys, so being able to just kind of take that and just kind of playing my game. I believe I could score out there kind of whenever I want. It's just playing the right way, making the right reads. 2 people get on me, I'm making the right pass. But yeah, it's really a defensive end I've been focusing on, and that's allowed me to get these opportunities.
What about to be part of tonight, where this is your first Teal game to be part of, and every club does different games like this for different charities, but this has a very special connection because there's such a personal connection with the Harris family for the Jack Jumpers. What was it like for you to be part of this for the first time?
Yeah, it was super special. It was cool to have them in the locker room after the game too, so we were just happy to get the win for them tonight, and we were able to raise some money for the She Foundation.
Scott, at any point during the game, did you mention the points differential? Because if you still end up on the same record as one of those teams below you, it still could come down to percentage, and all of a sudden you're a long way ahead of both the Hawks and the Breakers. Did you mention that you just have to keep going tonight and put up as many points as you could because it might end up making a difference?
We had mentioned it in some timeouts and in the third, in the middle of the third, and in the fourth, that the points matter, and that shot selection and just quality of shots, and let's don't turn this into a rat race game. And instead of winning by 40 or 35, and we end up winning by 12 or 15 because we're just anxious and thinks it's just the thing to do. So we were conscious of just playing the right way, more importantly, and taking really good shots and knowing that, the points did matter. And the good news was that, the young guys got in and got some valuable minutes for us that will hopefully benefit them down the road. And we're able to maintain what we were doing. So that was a really good sign.
Now, I know Nick's happy to say that this team can still do something special. You don't want me to ask you the same thing, do you?
Of course not.
Let me just finish off. How important is tonight? I mean, let's take the result out of it. The win makes it a lot more fun for everybody to be part of. But we spoke leading into the game how special it was. What was it like to be part of another night like this for you and for the Paris family?
Yeah, we do a lot of things internally that I won't discuss because they are internally, but, we have a lot of things where we try to create vulnerability with our players over the course of a few months. And, we had a situation yesterday of one of the things that we do, and Archie Woodhill talked about breast cancer that's basically been his jolt in his life with his mom, and now I think his aunt, and it's just in everyone's family. Unfortunately, the cancer is everywhere. It sucks, and most people can feel the energy in the building of what that means, and that's why we said tonight is about your whys and why you're showing up here and who you're going to represent. Because it is bigger than basketball, and obviously I've lost 2 family members to cancer, and it's just a terrible, terrible disease. And if we can bring recognition to it, and obviously support Scott and his family and Joe's legacy, it means the world to me. It's the biggest game of the year every year for me.
Yeah, well said. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.